Hi everyone, it's Mary Pickett, and I'm going to show you my project here. A little bit about me. I just finished my 7th year teaching chemistry and physics at the high school level, but next year I'm actually going to be a technology integration coach, which I'm very excited about. All this educational technology coursework has gotten me there, so I'm excited about that. So my project is called The Evolution of the Atom, and it's a chemistry lesson for high school students to learn about the scientists who've made all the different contributions to the atomic model over the years. And well, I chose this topic, I guess, because I've always done a timeline project for this unit in chemistry, and I knew it would translate very well to a technology-based lesson. And it's an important unit not only because it's in the standards and everything like that, but it's really good at kind of showing students that technology causes science to change, and just because you learn one thing, um, well, take the students that I might have now. When they were in first grade, they probably learned that Pluto was a planet, and now it's not a planet anymore. So this is just, I've always thought one of the most important things students should learn about science is that it's constantly changing, and ideas can change as technology comes about and allows for better experiments and things like that. As far as the students who I got to take the class, I had a pretty hard time. For Columbus City Schools, the last week was the last week in May, so May 29th was my last day. But for high school, that's finals week. So all I could do with my students is give them a test, and then they went home. And then, so the week before that was only like the second week into this class. So I did have a couple students who, after some, you know, asking them very nicely many times and without being able to promise them any extra credit or anything, they agreed to do it. And I also had a coworker's son who's a little younger than high school, but he volunteered to do it. So those were my students. And like I said, since I wasn't in the classroom and I couldn't be with them, I did it all online. I used course sites, which is what you're looking at here. I haven't even gotten to showing you the course yet. Just as the LMS, and I just did it as a module in a course that I made up, and to try to help the fact that I wouldn't be able to be with them, I did a lot of instructional videos and how-tos, which kind of step-by-step, and I did an educanon, if you're familiar with that. I did an educanon video, and I stopped it every time that they needed to do something, so they could just, they would know to stop, do what I just said, and then come back. So they're very detailed, very helpful as I could get them. After the evaluations and everything, I would mostly make a few changes just with the discussions. So if I go into my class here, I have 2 discussion boards, but it's mostly for the students to communicate with me, and I think if I had more students in the class, I would do more peer discussion, kind of like what we do in this class, how you post something and you give feedback, things like that. That's a really important 21st century skill. And then the thing that also annoyed the students was they had to make a login for course sites. Then I used Time Glider to make the timeline, and so they had to make a login for that. And so it was just kind of annoying, for lack of a better term. So like the new school I'm moving to as a technology coach, they're doing a one-to-one with Google. So they're getting Chromebooks and they're doing Google apps. They're moving all over to that. And so I know that if, so I can tell a teacher next year, I can talk to the chemistry teacher and be like, here's a project, here's the Google extension for, I think, Toki Tiki or something, it's something similar to that. But there's a timeline Google Apps extension or just an add-on that they could use that they're already using, and they could use they're using Google Classroom, they could use that. So those would be the biggest changes. Let me just show you my course a little bit here. I'm running out of time, so just they do a discussion board, tell me what they already know about the atom, and then just the instructional videos. I do a video on how to sign up. Oh, the other thing I would change is I'd make sure that they don't need to sit through all these videos if they already can figure out how to make an account at Time Glider. This is, you know, I walk them through how to making, this is the EduCanon video that I did, was a show, okay, log in, click this, pause, click this, type this, pause, and I actually do the first point on the timeline with them. And then I just have a section for research here, just give them some suggestions of scientists, and then if they get into it, they can do more. This is also a really good point for differentiation as far as, you know, you could have the students just say the basic things they did here. You can also say pick 2 scientists and go detailed into their experiments. You know, so that's why I knew I could make a really nice online lesson with this. And then I did a custom Google search so that they're not pulling from Wikipedia and all the millions and millions of sites that they come on. I just picked like 10, probably 10 good sites that would pull up the results for them. And then just how to get a link for the timeline was another instructional video. And just here was our final project. They just had to give me the links, sum it up, write a paragraph comparing and contrasting, and then the evaluation. So I guess as far as the instructional design process goes, I definitely just put more thought into this lesson going through that process, and what it did for me is chopped out a lot of stuff that I didn't need. It really helped me just streamline and clarify what the students needed to do, and without a lot of the extra like fluff and frills. I don't know. And it just kind of made the point that if you have a goal, it's much easier to plan and work towards that. And I kind of think it's the same for students too. So like if I say these are your goals, I think it's clearer for them, you know, to know what they need to do. And then so that's kind of the teaching aspect of it, but additionally, so since I'm going to be a technology coach, it's really nice, especially so we've just started planning PD for next year, and well, in the fall, for all the teachers with this one-to-one rollout, and it's similar. So it's just making me so the ID process just kind of makes me take a step back and just really strip down to the basics and think, like, okay, what do these people need to do, and how can I show them how to do it in the most effective manner, and how can I be very clear about what they're expected to do. So instead of just throwing a bunch of activities out there and all the flashy things that Google Apps can do, and you can do this maybe, you know, like a year after you've done this. So instead of just showing, you know, just showing them the basics, just being very focused, and then kind of just building on top of that too, eventually. But just sticking to the basics and just kind of streamlining goals and just decluttering, basically, is what I feel like it is. So thanks for watching. That sums it up. That's my lesson and my kind of new outlook after learning about the instructional design process. So I look forward to your comments. Have a great summer.